This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Hello and welcome to this very special show, Cricket with Aftab. Now, I did not know that this is the look I will get. And my friend is in the United Kingdom at the moment. So let me first ask this question only. I didn't expect this look. Where did this come from? The look I know is Aftab Shivdasani. Where's the beard? What's the deal? Why have you given us this first? Well, this is the first cut of the new look. Batao bhai.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Boria. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I've always watched all your shows, so I'm really very glad to be talking to you here. But, coming back to your question, this is a look that I have for the show that I'm doing called Special Ops Season 2. Basically,
one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Too. I've watched it 4 times last year.
No, me too. It's one of my favorites as well. And then when I got an opportunity to be part of the second season, I was really ecstatic because, I thought it's one of the best shows to ever come out of India. And, such a patriotic show, such a well-made show. And then, of course, then it all worked out and everything fell into place. And then this is the look that I'm supposed to be donning for it. And this is the first time officially giving an interview with this look. So this interview is special and it's for Special Ops.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This might well, for our viewers, I'm saying this might well degenerate into mutual admiration society because I have watched everything of Aftab's. So we don't want that to happen because I'll say, buddy, you're
we'll actually,
he'll say, I watch it. Anyway.
No, but we'll actually try and make it really informative and positive and inspirational for our viewers and listeners as well.
Correct. So Aftab, to get into it, I have followed your tweets, your comments on sport. Was sport part of the childhood, part of the growing up process, part of something that, obviously you, Celebrity Cricket League and all that, but was sport, Aftab Shivdasani equal to sport from childhood?
Absolutely. I grew up in front of the CCI Club Churchgate in Mumbai. All my life, I played only sports. In fact, I used to pay attention more to sports than to my studies. And my parents and my friends, everyone would know where to find me because I'd probably either be playing some sport or the other. So my entire childhood, whatever memories I have is all sport. And in fact, whenever I, think of any sport, I think of CCI Club first because that is where I learned everything. Whatever I am in terms of my sporting abilities is all due to, my time that I spent over there. So I think I've spent more time at the CCI Club playing sports in general, as opposed to at my own house, which is right opposite the club. So yeah, so for me, sports was not only religion, it was my entire existence ever since I was growing up. Then of course, until I discovered that, I'm not of that level to represent the country, although in my head I always wanted to represent the country like everybody else. But then I realized that, no, I think I can perhaps act a little bit better than I can play sports. And therefore, here I am and on this interview talking to you about sport.
See, he does represent our country and he represents our country at the global stage. And that's what sort of makes, Aftab special because his, this interest in sport has continued with him. But as I said, he's excelled in his area of choice. He mentioned the Cricket Club of India. So Aftab, whenever I see you, either I'll see you at the, in England or in India, I need to give you something. 8th of December, 1937, the day the Cricket Club of India was officially founded and Lord Brabourne came and opened it, a 12-page supplement had been published, which had photographs of all the rooms, the playing card room, billiards room, cricket field, an outstanding supplement that was published in the Times of India. And I've got scanned copies of all of it as part of my research. So you need to get that the next time I see you.
Yes, please. That would be amazing. I didn't even know
and
this
the Cricket Club of India. Yeah. And unbelievable. And the Cricket Club of India, they would, in fact, when the movement to set up the Cricket Club of India started, it was part of the reclamation project. So there was this, and it's a great story. So there was this board which said, dogs and Indians not allowed. Yep. And Maharaja of Patiala said, yahan pe Lords ko, obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, Lords ko jhopadpatti banayenge aur yahan Cricket Club banayenge hamare liye. And that sort of eventually resulted in the Cricket Club of India. So that's the...
as we all know, Cricket Club of India is an institution in itself. And it is one of the most esteemed clubs of Mumbai, if not the country. And, it's got reciprocal membership in a lot of international clubs as well, including Singapore, Australia, England. So it's a matter of prestige to be part of that club and to even play for that club, which I've had the good fortune of representing in more than one sport, actually 3 sports, I must tell you. But we'll go on to
which are the 3?
Later.
Yeah, tell me.
Well, obviously cricket being one of them, badminton being the other, and snooker being the third.
Fantastic. That is amazing. So now that the teams are practicing at the Cricket Club of India, Aftab, and obviously the matches will be there, what does IPL mean for Aftab Shivdasani?
Wow, IPL is a revelation, Boria. I think it is perhaps the biggest, if not the biggest, championship that we've seen since the inception of the IPL. I mean, whoever knew that it's going to take over the cricketing world by storm? You know, T20, when you think of T20, I mean, the IPL is right up there in terms of popularity charts. It's got everything you need. You know, it's got fantastic cricket at the highest level. It's got a base and a platform to nurture incredible talent coming out of this country. It's got our Indian flag, you know, stamped all over it, and our Indianness stamped all over it. And it's a matter of pride that it comes from India. And you know, you have international players playing in the IPL, and it's such an amazing visual spectacle that it's just, you know, it's better home entertainment for people. You know, it's just the ideal sit at home, watch a game of fantastic cricket, watch international players, you know, play with our players, and create this amazing camaraderie. And you know, it's because before the IPL, you never imagined Indians and Australians playing together in the same team, or Indians and English cricket team, or South Africans, or any other team. And suddenly, when you see all countries mixing on one platform, and it was the first of its kind, I believe, IPL. Of course, now you have many more leagues similar to the IPL. So it was a kind of revelation, and it had its novelty being its first. So IPL for me is that time of the year that is a massive distraction here, Boria, because whatever you end up doing, you know, you always have one eye on the television or one eye on the scores, or always checking online, you know, which team's got how much. And by the time you know it, 20 overs are already over. It's so quick. So, and then there are days where on a weekend you enjoy a kind of a double header. कि 2 matches आ रहे हैं, तो अगर मैं दिन का मैच भी अगर मैं मिस करूं, तो at least I have the evening match to catch up on. So it's this massive ball of entertainment, and of course it's to see newer talent who will, God willing, represent the country in the future from the IPL is a great thing to watch.
So being part of Mr. India to IPL being Mr. India and Miss India. So Aftab Shivdasani's journey is complete in a way. But मुझे सबको बोल देना चाहिए. You know, Aftab obviously was shooting for special ops, and if you just go look at his calendar, busy man, extremely well known, extremely popular. So I had to. I mean, yes, there is a degree of you know, mutual respect as a friend. But I just said, Aftab, cricket show kare kya? He didn't ask, okay, and I'm putting this on record. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask me anything. He said, kya karna hai? And there he go. I mean, unbelievable. This is why sport is...
कब करना है?
कब करना है? Exactly. And in fact, मैंने पूछा, आप बोलो. He said, नहीं, तुम बोलो. So that is the kind of passion that we have. And I'm so happy that, you know, people like you, because it is important that sport expands its ambit and its horizon and gets quality people in. Now, Aftab, blue to पहन के बैठे हो. Do you support the Mumbai Indians? Or for me, for example, IPL में कोई भी जीते फर्क नहीं पड़ता, India जीतता है. तुम्हारे लिए क्या है?
You know, you won't believe, before this interview started, I was asking my wife, what should I wear? Because I always ask her, मैं क्या पहनूं? And I had taken out 3 colors. I had taken out white, blue, and black. And then she said, हाँ चाहिए blue पहनो, लेकिन they shouldn't think that you're supporting Mumbai Indians. I said, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. That's Kakku Boria said the same thing on record. No, I mean, see, Mumbai Indians, of course, being a Mumbaiker is obviously, you know, it'll have the edge for me. But like you correctly said, you know, when any team wins, it's part of yourself that wins. It's India at the end of the day that's winning. Yeah. But no, there was no particular reason. My wife said this color looks good. It'll look good against a white background. Well, yeah, all these creative things and the light. Yes. And, you know, how we think very differently. Yes. So keeping all that in mind, blue is the color that we chose. But ironically, blue happens to be the color of India as well as the color of Mumbai Indians. But I promise you, it's just a coincidence.
So is it about individuals then? So who are the players that Aftab loves watching? Who are your favorites? I mean, yes, you will be watching in the UK either on Sky or on the mobile, follow it on multiple platforms. So who are the players who you love to watch?
See, of course, Virat, Dhoni. I'm a big fan of AB de Villiers, Chris Gayle. These are the international players apart from Virat. Dhoni is one of my all-time favorites because, sometimes I just feel that I want the clock to stop and I want this man to play for a really, really long time. And God willing, his health permits and his fitness permits. Of course, he's supremely fit at his age that he carries on playing for a really long time. But there are a lot of exciting players, younger lot. To watch Bumrah bowl, to watch Hardik bat, to watch Shreyas Iyer. Of course, unfortunately, Shreyas, I believe now is injured. He's got a shoulder injury. But it's difficult to pinpoint and say there's one particular player, one particular team that I'm excited. But I always get a little more excited when I watch Dhoni or Virat play, because for me they rank amongst the truest and the topmost sportsmen in the country and in the world. Because the kind of longevity they have in their career and just the sheer talent and just the way they are as sportsmen have earned my respect over the years. And I love them as cricketers. I know them socially as well, personally as well. But keeping that aside, I think just to watch them play and just to watch the greatness in their game, I think for me, I'm glued to the television when they play. Dhoni when he captains also the side and of course, it's just a pleasure to watch them. But like you said, there are so many people. It's difficult to pinpoint and say I want to watch this person, that person, because now in the last, I think 5 years, there's been a massive influx of newer talent that India has nurtured in the IPL, where one tends to lose count. Because now all these players that were introduced 5 years ago are now representing India at a national level. They're going to Australia, they're going to England to play. So I will be watching all of them very keenly. And all I can say is that Indian cricket is in a very, really good phase of its life, because the kind of talent this country has, and I've always maintained it, is unmatchable. I don't think anywhere in the world has that kind of talent.
Very, very correct. Very correct. That sort of brings me back to you again. I mean, you've played multiple sports. You just said 3 sports for the Cricket Club of India. Yeah. So, what is the influence, if I can sort of try and decode Aftab a little bit? Has there been any influence on sport, or off sport rather, in your own work life? Have you taken lessons from sport? Leadership, ethics, fair play, commitment, passion. Have you imbibed any of these and applied them to your work life?
All of them, Boria, because I think all of them, see, once a sportsman, always a sportsman. It's like if you join the forces or the services, there is an ingrained and inherent discipline that you acquire and you practice over time. Similarly with sport, regardless of where you reach in your career, you have to have discipline. Of course, if you don't have discipline, then you won't reach anywhere in your career. But if you have discipline, then of course you will go places. Of course, then you nurture your talent. So I've tried to use that discipline and those ethics even in my workplace. Because my workplaces can get really trying and get kind of stressful as well. But I think if you hold your ethics in place, and if you hold your principles in place, and your discipline, and your sense of timing, your hardworking nature, your qualities to perhaps even lead the way for others, your ability to help people, to pull people up, all these attributes are those of a sportsman. I think that has shaped me as a person a lot in my personal life as well as my career, where it's so funny that for example, if I'm playing a match, or playing a cricket match or a badminton match or a snooker match, you won't see me as an actor. You will see me as a sportsman. I mean, that's just in my DNA. That's the way I am as a person. And I use all of that at times in situations which are slightly difficult in my career to steer myself clear and to remind myself of who I really am. Otherwise, a lot of things in my career can digress and take me off the rails. But it's very important to have that discipline. And that discipline comes with, being a sportsman by default.
Excellent. And just to sort of extend that a little bit more, I mean, the last 1 year, 13 months rather now, with the pandemic, there is this whole veil of negativity and gloom that has encompassed the world and taken over every country, including our own. People like you, the kind of work that you do in the cultural space or sport, allows us to at least feel positive at the end of the day, something positive to look forward to. Would you agree that is, at the core of our existence, the positivity, and that's why IPL is what it is. OTTs have become so popular. Bollywood is what it is. Is that something that you believe in?
Yeah, I think definitely. It is very important to kind of stay focused I mean, you're going to face challenging situations in life. I mean, the pandemic has been unprecedented in terms of, a global challenge to humanity. It's the entire human race. Suddenly our backs are against the wall. We don't know what we're fighting, and it happens to be invisible. Every day we're learning something new about this virus. So it has been extremely difficult. And, my heart goes out to people who've not been able to make it through this pandemic. It's been really difficult on everybody, from whether you're rich or you're poor, or you're a Hindu or a Muslim, or you're an Indian or somebody else. It doesn't matter, because it's going to affect you. What should really matter at the end of the day is that, have you developed a certain amount of responsibility and compassion towards the next person? Have you tried to protect yourself and protect the next person by staying responsible? Because the one thing that all governments of the world asked from every citizen was to stay responsible. Maintain social distancing, wear a mask, use sanitizers, don't go out until you really, really need something essential to get. Did we really learn our responsibility, or did we just say कि ठीक है, कोरोना आया, कोरोना चला गया, कुछ लोग मर गए, कुछ लोग अभी जिंदा है, हम लोग को कोरोना हो गया, लेकिन हम लोग ठीक है, तो हमें कुछ होगा नहीं? Does that चलता है attitude is still there in our existence, or have we learned our lessons? So I keep trying, even through my social media, whether I use whatever I say, I keep trying to instill positivity, goodness, and to spread goodness, because there's so much of negativity out there, so much of depression, anxiety, stress out there. Why not try and use platforms or mediums like what your work or your social media platforms, or even when you have a conversation with somebody, to try and inculcate goodness, positivity, because times are challenging, and this is not going to end anytime soon. But we're going to be here. We're hopefully going to be here for longer than the pandemic. So why not try and spread goodness? Why not try and spread positivity? We are in a position of a certain amount. We enjoy a certain position of fame, of people. We are public figures. People will take what we say seriously. So at least in my limited capacity, as much as I try and spread positivity, I try and do that. But at the end of the day, it's got to be every citizen of this earth, their responsibility to take this job upon them and protect themselves and their families and people around them, because you could be vaccinated, but you could still be a carrier. So suddenly you say, "Mujhe the vaccine mil gaya," and you stop wearing a mask because you think you're immune to it. But because it's science, we discover everything, new things every day. You might be a carrier for somebody else. So then your whole responsibility stops. It should not stop. It should carry on, because you are responsible for the next person's life as well. So these things, has this pandemic actually taught us anything or not? So in my personal capacity, I just try and spread the word as much as possible, and then hope and pray that we evolve as a race, post these challenging times.
Excellent words. Coming back to the tournament, Aftab, and this is what I think is the standout, because देखिए, अगर आप देखें हमारे यहाँ पे, yes, healthcare, you are in the United Kingdom, they are doing very well, developed world, Australia, America, etc. We have struggled in India with multiple things, whether it is our healthcare systems, there are many challenges. But when it comes to the work that you do, your industry, Bollywood, OTTs, creative industry, and cricket, ideally IPL, especially IPL, this is our gift to the world. Does that sort of resonate with you, that, okay, yes, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So when people take pot shots at the IPL, and I want to ask you this, when people take pot shots at the IPL, I feel angry, because people think this is just a spectacle played for some people. But, it goes down. Everyone gets employment, whether it is a groundsman who makes his money, the junior cricketer gets his money. So IPL in that sense is important, just like your industry. Isn't that right?
Yes, absolutely. I think like you rightly said, it provides employment to a lot of people, not just only the players, but to the support staff, to people who work, who are those faceless people who we don't get to hear and see. It does employ a lot of people, and I think, see, people in the world today will take pot shots whether you do good or whether you do bad, Boria. One has to just ignore these things. One has to focus on how to spread the real meaning, the real reason for why we're celebrating something like the IPL. So one should just not pay attention to these people, because honestly, they're sitting there, they've got nothing to do, they want to type and they want to troll and they want to kind of pass comments. And giving opinions is free, unfortunately, today, especially on social media. And there's no, they said that the tongue, no, has no bones. Like similarly, the finger, even though it has bones, but you just, because you're faceless, you can sit and troll anybody on social media. But I think one should just stay focused on the good that the IPL is doing and not really bother about the bad, because I think it does, more than anything else, it also provides a lot of entertainment, to a lot of people. Billions of people are sitting at home, unfortunately, because of the pandemic. There are lockdowns now with the second and third wave happening around the world. You need some sort of recreation, some sort of entertainment, and cinemas now again are going to close, unfortunately. So that's a big hit for all of us. But at least sitting at home, you can watch sport, and sport is the one thing that binds people together. It's the one thing that brings people together. Then they don't question nationalities or race or color. They just want to see a good game of any sport. And IPL is the biggest of the biggest that you can imagine. So why bring it down when it gives you so much of good? Why not look at the good in every situation is what I'm trying to say, rather than try and pinpoint all the bad points.
Why I like this show is so far, it's all so positive. It makes me feel vibrant and good. After two more questions, I know you've got other work, but one, once the IPL is done, May, June is taken care of, rather April, May is taken care of by the IPL. When are you giving us special ops? Can you talk about it? Can you give me a sense of what is coming from the Aftab Shivdasani pipeline? Can you give me some more? Because all of us love the show.
I would love to, but my director would shoot me, in his words. I think that's a call that the production and he has to take, Mr. Neeraj Pandey. He's, of course, as brilliant as it can get. I think they would be in a right position to say, but I don't think before the latter half of the year will you be able to see the release of Special Ops Season 1.5. It's really special. It's something will have a lot of surprises, I can tell you. And hopefully they will actually have taken the franchise successfully forward with this new season. But I think that won't happen before the latter half of the year. Apart from that, I'm working on something else post June, which again, I'm not allowed to talk about yet. But as we progress and as and when I get permission from the authorities to share it with you, Boria, of course, I will share it with you and share it with all these wonderful viewers who are watching. Until then, at least we have April, May to take care of, for IPL to take care of us and entertain us. And then post June, July, we'll think of something else.
Hello, final question on the first show. First of the weekly edition of Cricket with Aftab, provided this man agrees to give me half an hour every week, which I'm now publicly sort of claiming and asking.
No, I will.
It's been great fun. But the final question, Aftab, when the clock strikes 7:30 and it's like, people are doing lockdowns and curfews and all of it. Frankly, you don't need it, because you will watch IPL at home.
IPL.
So, मेरे लिए ये health therapy भी है. That the sort of cycle ये ऐसे बन जाता है कि 7:30 बजे IPL, so 6 बजे से pre-show, उसके बाद ये, and then post-match. By the time you get up, you are preparing for the next day's game.
That's
so
true.
That way,
I think it's worked out really well. The lockdown, unfortunately, and the IPL timings. But, having said that, Boria, I just wish that everybody stays safe. I know there are these massive bio bubbles that are happening for all the players and all the support staff.
Are you anxious? That was my last question. Are you anxious?
I am anxious with I was in Bombay for a day, a few days ago, after I came back from Mauritius shooting Special Ops, and I came here because my family is here. So I'll be shuffling back and forth, between Mumbai and London. But I am anxious because, for the past couple of days, you know that the cases have gone up to over 100,000 cases a day. So that is concerning. And like I said, we all go back to that whole responsibility factor, that one should learn to be responsible. Of course, now we're waiting for the various governments, including Maharashtra government, to kind of announce clearly as to what the SOPs will be in the coming days. But I am concerned about players, and of course I don't think they will be allowing any spectators. Perhaps you can shed light on that.
No crowds.
So then that's good, because then at least the players can stay protected, and the people, the public can also stay protected. You can sit down in the comfort of your home and watch it. So I am concerned, but I hope that the IPL doesn't get disturbed, and sport generally doesn't get disturbed. But more importantly, I think the health of everybody involved is most important. Especially, I want to salute the people who work in the services, the hospital, and the healthcare workers in our country. My heart goes out to them as to what they've been going through in the past 12 months here.
On behalf of Aftab and me, every smile that now comes on the faces of Indians, we owe it to these people. To our healthcare workers, our medics, our paramedics, our nurses.
Absolutely.
heart, and people who've lost their lives, you've lost your lives for us, and look at the families. So for once, that should tell you, wear your mask, sanitize, maintain distance, and learn just that little bit of responsibility. But I'll end this show on a positive note that he mentioned SOP. Our SOP is to get Aftab back, coerce him, push him, cajole him, and from his table, multiple more quality shows or films and many more to come from this extremely talented man. But for the moment, that was the first episode of Cricket with Aftab. Every week we'll get him back. Thank you very much, Aftab, for your time. Have a safe, good time in the UK with family, and see you soon next week. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Boria. Thanks.